So we are going to go over translating equations. So we're going to go over the basics. So the word sum means addition, product means multiplication, and quotient means division. We're going to skip over these slides because those were the basics that everyone seemed to get a hold of. If you need some more help on that, please just let me know. For subtraction, though, we've missed that subtraction. This is where you're going to see it as less than or subtracted from. So 20 less than 30 is not our typical equation that we're used to. We wouldn't do 20 minus 30. If I'm saying 20 less than 30, that means I'm taking 20 away from 30. So that would equal 30 minus 20, and my answer would be 10. The same thing goes from subtracted from. 14 subtracted from 19 means I'm taking away 14 from 19, and I get 5. So 19 minus 14 is 5. So let's take a look at some more challenging problems. These are the ones that were on your homework, so I want to focus on these. So the word is in equation is telling us to put an equal sign. So we are going to define our variable, say x equals some number. And the reason I put this on here is because in class, the next class you have, we are going to be solving word problems. So you're going to have to put, for example, C equals cookies. If we're talking about the amount of cookies someone is buying, I need you to put C as cookies so I know you're talking about cookies. In this instance, every time we're going to have a number, so you can put number equals x, just so we're all on the same page of what x is. We're going to put it into an equation and solve. So the product of a number and 15. We saw on the first slide that product means multiplication. So product of a number, remember x is our number, and 15 is 30. So 15x equals 30. You could put, like, it makes sense in the way that we word this, that it would be x15 equals 30, but we know that we always put that coefficient up front. So we're going to write 15x equals 30, divide by 15 on both sides, we get x is 2. Let's try the third one that's a little bit more intense. So the sum of 5 times a number, so 5 times a number is 5x, plus, because we're doing sum, 4 divided by 2 is 2, equals 7. So the sum is addition of 5 times a number and 4 divided by 2. So 5 times the number is 5x, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Add them together, set equal to 7. I would then subtract 2 from both sides. I get 5x equals 5. Divide by 5, and I get x equals 1. Let's see. These are where we get a little bit more intense, so let's take a look. The sum of 8 and 3 less than 2 times a number. So the sum means addition, so 8 plus 3 less than 2 times a number. So let's just look at that part. 3 less than 2 times a number means 2 times a number minus 3. We saw on the previous slide that if we're saying less than, we take that minus and put it at the end. We don't do 3 minus 2x. That's totally different. We want to put 3 less than. That means we're taking 3 away from 2 times a number. So I put that and set it equal to 40. So I get 5 plus 2x equals 40. So 2x equals 35. And our x is 35 divided by 2. A number plus 3 times that number is 44. So I get 4x equals 44. So my x is 11. The sum of 6, so sum means addition, of 6 and 3 times a number equals that number minus 8. So this is where we're seeing the difference. 3 less than in the first problem means we subtracted at the end, but minus means we do x minus 8. I know that might be a little bit confusing. I'm going to make sure that on an assessment, I just stick with less than, but I wanted to show you the different ways that you can write it. So then we just use our variables on both sides. So we subtract x from both sides, and we get 6 plus 2x equals negative 8. So 2x equals negative 14, and my x is then negative 7. Let's see, I have a lot more. Where's the one I wanted? Oh, this first one. This one's a really good one, and you do see it on your homework number 4. Twice the sum. So we're multiplying 2 times the sum of a number and 3. I'm not multiplying 2 times the number. I'm not multiplying 2 by 3 alone. I'm multiplying by the addition of both those numbers. So this is where I need my parentheses. So I'm multiplying the sum of a number and 3, so x plus 3 twice. So I'm putting it times 2 at the outside is 20. So this is where we're going to use our distribution. So 2x plus 6 equals 20. 2x then equals 14, and my x is 7. 10 less than a number, so once again that's x minus 10, we put it in the behind, is 3 more than 6 times a number. And when we're doing an addition, it really does not matter the order in which we write it. I could have written the right side as 6x plus 3, but if it makes it easier for you just to write it in that order, that's perfectly fine. Subtraction, on the other hand, we saw has to be very specific, where addition, you can do it either way. Subtract x over, I get negative 10 equals 3 plus 5x. Subtract 3, negative 13 equals 5x. So my x is negative 13 divided by 5. Let's see, what else do I have? These are the more intense ones. I'm going to go over the last one because I know this is something that I really want to pinpoint on. If I'm doing 7 less than 4 times a number, we do 4 times the number minus 7 equals 1/4 that number. So this is where we're in class and we're like, wait, if I subtract 1/4 x over, or I subtract 4x over, I have an integer with a fraction. And that sometimes gets challenging to be able to subtract from. You would have to get a common denominator. So what I gave you a little hint of is multiply everything by 4. So we get rid of that fraction and we can keep going. So I'm going to multiply this by 4. So 1/4 times 4 is x. This by 4, 4 times 4 is 16x. This by 4 is negative 28. Usually we subtract over the smaller of the two variables. However, we already have the constant over here. We have an x over here. We want to get the x alone. So I might as well keep the constant on this side and subtract this over. Either way, we'll still get the same answer, but this is just taking one less step to get there. So negative 28 equals negative 15x. So my x is 28 divided by 15. And I'll try 2 more with you. So which ones? I'm going to do the last 2. So 8 more than a number. So you could do 8 plus x if you wanted, or x plus 8 is 16 less than negative 5 times the number. So add 5x to both sides. I get 8 plus 6x equals negative 16. Subtract 8. I get 6x equals negative 24. So my x is negative 4. The last problem, 4 more than negative 5 times a number. So this is where it gets sometimes a little bit confusing, because you could do 4 plus negative 5x. Another way I like to think of it is negative 5x plus 4, same thing, is 2 less than the number. So you take 2 less than. So add 5x to both sides, I get 6x. Add 2, I get 6. So 6 equals 6x, and my x is 1. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. And I hope we are all getting onto the same page.